Hey, welcome, guys. Welcome to Birth Your Vision Podcast Live. I'm the founder of All Women's Network and also the All Women's Network Membership Business Club. And I am passionate about helping female entrepreneurs who struggles with self-doubt and also to help them to build their confidence as well as start a successful business. So welcome to today's fantastic episode. And I'm also a multi-award winning entrepreneur, mentor, trainer, and coach. So it's a real pleasure to welcome you here today. Thank you so much for joining us. And just to tell you about this podcast, so the Birth Your Vision podcast is really about providing support for women in business, aspiring female entrepreneurs to get inspiration, advice, and support and tips in growing their business and brand, and also to help them to be more visible. And so I'll be shining the spotlight on moments of different types of female, having great guest speakers coming to come and share business tips, advice on their business journey, and also on the challenges as well as the success story. So I'm super excited today with my amazing guest. She'll be joining me very shortly, but just before she comes on and she joins me, I just wanted to check on my wonderful viewers as well as my listeners. How is everyone doing? How was your day today? Thank you so much for your support and also your fantastic encouragement. And so I just wanted to take just 1 minute just to give you inspirational message. And my message today is about vision. And that is that your vision matters. That is my message. And I really just want you to focus on your vision and just remember that what you focus on, you will become. So I need you to take charge of your life and also to create a vision for yourself, as well as, think about where you want to be within the next sort of 5, 10, or even 20 years from today. And so I want to encourage you to actually stop allowing other people to decide what you should do. And, I want you to actually give yourself the right to dream, and also do not allow nobody to take away your vision. And so I want you to just remember that every great organization has a vision, which gives them the right direction in terms of how they want to run their business. And so it's important that, as an individual, that you also have a passion and you follow your dreams and you continue to actually keep moving forward in the right direction of your vision. Remember that having a vision is not just about goals, but it's really about looking at the end, the outcome. And also remember that goals are there for you to actually accomplish different tasks, but your vision is there to actually pull out your passion, just like a magnet. And so it's necessary to have goals. However, it's also important for you to understand what your vision looks like. And so I encourage you today to keep pushing forward, and also having a vision for yourself, for your future, gives you a sense of purpose and also a glimpse into what is possible, and creating your desire to grow, to also improve, and also help you to push forward, during the times of obstacles or even hardships, and also different types of adversities in life. So I want to see you at the top, and I want you to start writing your vision and get yourself prepared for 2021. So welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on. It's a real pleasure to have you here today. I am so excited, actually, because I have my amazing guest. Her name is Megan. And so she'll be here and she'll be sharing some great information about how she actually started a fantastic business with her mom in North Carolina, in all the way in America. So Megan and her mom, Lisa, a mother and daughter duo from Graham, North Caroline. They'll be sharing, they'll both will be sharing different types of, joint partnership, the way they've actually partnership together in terms of reinventing and transforming spaces. Megan is a fresh college graduate from Elon University and with a major in communication design. And Lisa is a professional organizer and a stager who's been in business for over 20 years. In 2017, they renovated the first school bus. And since then, they've actually gone to do many more. They strive to create beautiful, livable space out of school buses, giving them new purpose, giving people the opportunity to actually travel, and, giving them the opportunity to have a great, safe home to live in. So without further ado, I want you to welcome my amazing guest, the beautiful Megan. She'll be joining me now live. So welcome, Megan, to Birth Your Vision podcast.
Hi.
Megan,
Hi,
how are
everybody.
you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. It's really a pleasure to have you here today. Could you just tell us exactly where you are being interviewed from?
I am in Westport, Connecticut currently, but I'm originally from Graham, North Carolina in the US.
Fantastic. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. It's beautiful outside. It's really nice. So I'm excited. It's
Oh,
nice out today.
fantastic. Thank you
hmm
so much for coming. I'm super excited to actually invite you to Birth Your Vision podcast live. It's a real pleasure to have you. I remember just sort of seeing so many great comments about the fantastic idea, the great initiative that you've actually created with your mom. And
hmm
I just couldn't help but to actually reach out to you and invite
Yeah.
you to give you the platform to be able to share your amazing innovation with the world, because it's super, super amazing. So, but just before we start, just give us a glimpse about your world. What is it like, living in North Carolina, and also being a graduate, really?
Well, recently graduating online, I can't complain. I didn't really want to walk the stage. So being able to like stay home and do class from home, I was able to work on the buses more. So it's kind of a win-win. I can't complain when it comes to that. But life has been
Fantastic.
good post grad and I'm enjoying myself.
Wow, that's amazing.
hmm
Awesome stuff. Thank you so
hmm
much. So let's talk about, the journey, really, the transition from being a graduate to now being a business owner, an
hmm
entrepreneur, because that is such a big transition. So after you
It is.
finished university, and, how did you now transition from being a graduate to now being an entrepreneur?
So I have been doing it for 3 years now. So I had been, when I was in college, I would go home on the weekends because I only lived a half hour away and I'd be spending it working on the buses. I was actually talking about it. I was like, most of my friends like were out partying, but I was like ripping up bus seats for 5 hours a day and scraping gum off the floor. But it's like those little things, like the labor part that I like thoroughly enjoy because it makes it so much more worth it. But it's definitely a different lifestyle than most of my friends have been living in college, but I wouldn't change a
Yeah.
thing. I really
Absolutely.
love it.
Fantastic. So tell me about this idea. Where did this idea actually come from?
Okay. Yeah.
Because there's so many ideas that we have, and sometimes
hmm
we are so afraid to actually birth those ideas. And one of the reasons
Yeah.
why I've actually created the podcast is about sharing authentic stories, real life
Okay.
stories, real life innovations, real life initiatives such as yours. So tell us
hmm
about this idea. Where did this idea actually come from?
Okay. So I can start from the beginning.
Mhm.
So 5 years ago, my brother unfortunately passed away, and he had tweeted, "It's the simple things in life that make it worth living." So I was like, oh my God, like I'm gonna have to go to therapy. And I was like, I really don't want to go to therapy. I was like, so I could either pay to go or I can get paid for it. So I was trying to
Mm,
turn my pain into profit. And I was sitting there and I was like, I absolutely adore interior design. And so I was like, how can I mix these two things? So I asked my parents if I could get a foreclosure home. And they asked
right.
me if I could afford it. And I said, no, I really can't. And they were like, well, find something you can afford. So I
Yeah.
went to junkyards and I asked them if they had any school buses because I knew if I took out the seats, I could make it a home. But I had no idea that there was a community before, so I thought I was inventing the idea. It turns out I absolutely was not. But there's a huge market for it, and so I went and got my first bus at a junkyard. I worked on it for almost a year, actually. I took apart everything. I did it myself, and then it just kind of snowballed and became a little bit more popular than I actually anticipated. So now I'm ending up turning it into a business. But I absolutely love the journey it's took me on.
That is super amazing. I mean,
hmm
what sort of skills is required? Because, a lot of skills goes into creating
Mm-hmm.
reinventing and sort of putting the bus together. So, for example,
Mm-hmm.
carpentry skills, plumbing, decor.
So,
So all
mhm.
that skills, how did you actually acquire that?
So I personally, I'm just in charge of the decorating. I guess the biggest skill that I had to have is people skills because I do all the negotiating of finding the bus, buying the bus, working with all the people, the insurance agent, the notary. I'm kind of like the voice behind it, and then I do the
Yeah,
decorating with my mom. But we try to hire out people who are, I don't know, injured, collecting unemployment, suffer with like some kind of mental illness to give them a purpose every day. I try to like every bus is built by a different group of people, and
mm-hmm.
every bus has given someone a purpose to wake up, and that's what
Right.
I take the most pride in is giving people purpose and then creating something beautiful out of it.
Wow,
So,
that's truly amazing. So would you say that this is actually a team effort, a teamwork?
oh my God, yeah, there's at least 10 of us that come together, and then we have dinners every time. We probably have dinner 3 nights a week with everybody.
Mhm.
And then we get together with people who have either bought or sold us a bus. We have them over for dinner as well. So it's turned into like a bus family, which I wasn't anticipating, but I wouldn't trade it.
Fantastic. That's super
Yeah,
awesome.
thank you.
So this is like a team project. So tell us the name of this business.
So I call it Live Simply.
Live
And
Simply. What inspired that name?
so my brother's tweet with like the simple things in life, I try to combine that, make it small and catchy. And I have now Live Simply, which I have a decal I put on all the buses. I give shirts to people who buy them. Um,
Fantastic.
but that motto has been, I use it all the time because it's so beautiful, because life is so precious. So it's important to enjoy those simple things in it. So
Fantastic.
yeah,
That's
that's my
amazing.
motto, like my
And
motto.
I'm
Hmm.
super sorry about your brother. I think so many
I
people can
appreciate
relate
that.
to loss. I can definitely
Hmm.
relate to that. And I love the fact that you've actually carried on pushing your passion through. And
Hmm.
what do you think has actually kept you motivated to keep going?
Oh my God. I think seeing the people that it's brought into my life, I wasn't
Yeah,
expecting such like characters to come out of it. Like everybody
yeah.
I've met, I absolutely adore. I call them, I check on them, their family, their grandparents' birthdays, I'm calling. But
Hmm.
I think the best part so far is meeting the people, and then because we interview, like I have held on to a bus for almost a year because
Yeah.
I wasn't satisfied with the people who were coming. I like really make sure that they're going to carry on my brother's legacy as they drive. So I take a
Mm,
lot of pride in like hand picking who the buses go to.
right. Okay. That really brings me to the next question in terms of finding clients and
Yeah.
the kind of clients that you want to market to. What do you do and what are
Hmm.
the steps?
So I mean, I was telling you, I really didn't anticipate this to turn into a business. I was kind of doing it
Yeah.
for fun. And then I
Hmm.
put it in these Facebook group messages and people started contacting me, and I was like, "Wait, wait, wait." I was like, I was just having fun, but now I've turned it into a little something. So, I guess I was selling the buses on Craigslist and Marketplace and word of mouth. Um,
Hmm.
but now I'm in the process of creating a website, so I'll be able to have a platform that people can come see what's being built, and then potentially contact me to order one.
Fantastic. That sounds really
Mhm.
amazing.
Mhm.
During the time of, the lockdown, how did you find kind of putting the buses together? Was it quite challenging?
Oh my God, no. The lockdown is actually ideal because I was like, if we go into another lockdown in January, we're gonna just
Yeah,
stock up on flooring and wood and have like a little turn the garage into a workshop. And I mean, I'll be happy if it's not gonna bother me because I don't need to talk to people. I guess that's one of the perks of it is that I don't have to like interact with people and I can still make money and still do what I love, but it doesn't matter if we're on lockdown or not. But
absolutely.
the lockdown has not challenged my journey at all.
Wow.
Mhm.
And so, in terms of sort of putting a startup funding together, how did you actually start in terms of, because there's quite a lot that goes into it.
Mhm.
So from the moment you sort of source the buses and also the equipment you need, and also getting people to actually help you to build it. So
Mhm.
just talk us through the startup fund, if you actually had one, or how did you actually manage to do that?
So I started really small and I built my
Mm-hmm.
way up. I found buses that I went to churches and I went and verbally asked them if they had any buses they were willing to sell, and I was getting them for way cheaper, and then I was selling them. So I guess I just started like snowballing, and then it kept going and going. I was able to spend more, but the way the business plan works is that the people who work with me don't make money until the bus itself sells.
Right.
So it like cuts out the whole paying people throughout. I just wait. I have one payday. Once I get paid, everyone gets paid. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
a team effort, and then that way the whole team is excited for the bus to sell, and it's more exciting that way, and we all celebrate, and it's like a big deal.
Wow, that's amazing. I like that
Mhm.
concept. And you've
Mhm.
got a great team of people with you. So give us some
Yeah.
ideas of the kind of people you have in your team and what is
Okay.
their role and what do they do?
Yeah, of course. So it really depends. The first bus, I actually hired my neighbor.
Yeah,
Um, the second bus, I hired my grandparents' friend, who is a retired contractor. The third bus, I found two boys off Craigslist from Colorado who actually
yeah,
came and got a house near me for a month. And they worked on the bus every day for, I think, 12 hours a day, 6 days a
yeah.
week. And then the last bus, we had a team, a makeshift team, who I think we're going to carry on now because we have a great set. There's seven of us. But
Mm,
we have everyone from contractor to a seamstress to a notary to insurance agent. So the whole thing is step by step. But whereas in the beginning, I was kind of scrambling all the time because I was like, oh, this is so new. It's so niche. Like, I don't know. No one knows what to do with a bus.
yeah,
So I was kind of fending for myself. But now, since I'm on my fourth, I'll be getting my fifth on Thursday, a huge bus I'm really excited about. But yeah, so now it's just a smooth process, whereas before I was definitely scrambling all the time.
right. Looking for people and support.
Looking looking for people was not an issue
Hmm.
as much as looking for people who were as detail oriented. We
Right.
we don't we don't sell anything that we wouldn't buy or live in ourselves. Like
Mm,
they are immaculate. The day they leave, I'm out there cleaning for hours beforehand on my hands and knees, every inch of that thing, just to make sure that
right.
they're walking into a beautiful product that I created.
Hmm.
So we have
Absolutely. And I wanted to know about what your parents thought about your idea. What was their opinion about it, actually? What did they think about it?
Yeah, so the first day I told them, they were like, "What? Like, have you ever like, do you know anything about it?" I was like, "Honestly, no." But then the first day I went and bought my first bus, I told them about it because I went with my own
Yeah.
checkbook, and
Hmm.
I was like, "Mom and Dad, I bought something today," and they were like, "What did you buy?" And I was like, "A school bus," and they were like, "Oh my God, where are you gonna put it?" And I was like, "I guess
Mm,
the driveway." And they're so supportive. The first thing they did was change their clothes into like painting clothes, so they were right on board and they support the whole thing. It's like a family affair. My mom and I work on it. We're best friends, so we spend most of our day together out there and we have a good time. But my dad comes out and he does the tires and he does the finishing touches of like the bumpers and the grill. Um, but yeah, we've definitely made it a family affair and I absolutely love it that way.
fantastic. That sounds so
Hmm.
awesome. It's really amazing when you have supportive parents
The
who are
game
there to
changer.
actually support you and really see the vision, because I think is really
Hmm.
powerful when it
Yes.
comes to you being able to actually get support for what you
Hmm.
believe in and your passion
Yep.
as well. Looking at this amazing comment by Antoinette. Thank you so much. She said, my vision is to be an international speaker and nature coach and start a charity helping women to speak their truth through narrative. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's amazing. And that's what this podcast is all about, really looking for women who have actually birthed their vision and really turn it into a profit making business to allow them to be sustainable. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I think Antoinette also said something else. She said, hey, Megan, great idea to upcycle buses. Very
Hmm.
inspiring. Me and my mom look at tiny homes. That's super amazing. Do you want to say anything to Antoinette, Megan?
Yeah, no, I really appreciate it. Definitely look into tiny homes. There's so many different alternatives to like living, and buses are only one route you can take. But yeah, the tiny homes are awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your contribution, Antoinette. Really
Hmm.
appreciate that. So tell us about, your clients and do you actually have a database where you actually still get in touch with them?
Yeah, I actually talk to them, oh my gosh, probably once a week. I talked to the last 2
Yeah.
people who bought the buses yesterday. I called one and I texted the other. I try to check in as much as I can because buses are pretty unpredictable, and I know when I'm selling them, they're in good shape, but you never know what can happen from like a year down the road. So I try to check in and make sure everything's good. But um, so Laura, she actually bought the big white bus that you can see. But she just celebrated her grandpa's like 94th birthday, and instead of having it inside, they all had it in the bus. It was like, I don't know,
Wow.
15 people. Yeah.
Oh
So
my days.
she actually came to my house with a map, and she said that she was going to give it to her younger nephews with a Sharpie, and they get to draw the route that she'll take
Hmm.
them on as like an aunt trip, which is I thought was really unique. So that's why I sold it to her. But
That is
the
super
clientele is
cool.
fantastic. Yeah, thank you.
That is
So
amazing.
yeah, every
Take us through the process of actually finding a bus. What sort of bus do you look for? Is it used buses?
oh yeah.
What does that
hmm
process really look like? And from the moment you find the bus, what happens next? Take us through the
Oh,
step-by-step stages.
sure. Actually, I do this all day long, so I'm an expert. But I am constantly scrolling through Craigslist and Marketplace trying to find buses. Like I try to find, well, mainly a diesel engine. You don't really want gas because people are going to travel pretty extensively in them. I
Hmm.
try to keep it under 200,000 miles. So once I see that, I like to keep the year above 1990 if possible.
Yeah.
But then, so I go on Facebook, I message a bunch of people, I see what they're willing to sell it to me for, or I go up to people's doors and ask them to their face if they'd be willing, because a lot of people have buses in their backyard. And
Hmm.
for whatever reason, people could have started the project and given up midway through. And that's where I would like to get them because I'm taking it off their hands, but also it's benefiting me. But a lot of the buses I've gotten have been off of Craigslist or asking door to door. So,
Fantastic. That
mhm.
is super, super amazing. So what has it been like really sort of starting a business? How have you felt about kind of taking a very small idea and turning it into something that's
Mhm.
massive?
Yeah, I'm happy you asked. It's actually really overwhelming. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't.
Yeah, I
Because
can
I was like,
imagine.
right? I was like, I can see why people like want to just work for a company. It's like a lot of work to believe. I mean, I believe in myself, but it's hard to be like, I have this idea. I want to, because people will try to invest in me. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to take someone else's money, but people believe in me and I believe in myself. So, but it's pushing yourself to the next step of being like, you know what, I can do this, and people do have faith in me, and maybe I should go out on a branch here. But
Mm,
yeah, it's definitely overwhelming, but it's fun to watch because I said I'm never gonna have to work a day in my life because I genuinely enjoy this, like beyond, beyond. I'm so happy. These buses have given me more happiness than anything ever has, and watching it to come to life has been unreal. So I'm
absolutely.
very
I mean,
thankful. hmm
indeed. What do you really want people to take away from this project? How do you want them to feel?
Okay, yeah. I guess I made a bad situation pretty good, and I think that there's always light, and not that things happen for a reason, but this was given to me, I guess, by my brother, this opportunity to like live my dream, and he inspired it. So I guess turning the pain into profit is a possibility, and having faith in yourself is all it really takes.
Absolutely.
hmm
Indeed. So, in terms of people following their dreams and their passions and their aspirations, what advice would you give to someone who's actually looking to, turn their visions and their dreams into a business? What advice would
hmm
you actually give them?
I wouldn't stop. Don't stop because you hit roadblocks, and sometimes I'm like,
Hmm.
oh my God, I'm like, is it worth it? I'm like, why don't I just do something else? Why don't I just work a real job or like a normal job? And I'm
Yeah,
like, but what? I'm like, why? I'm so talented. Like I have a gift and I should share it. And I
mm,
think that if you have faith in yourself, you shouldn't stop chasing the dream. Life's too
absolutely.
short not to.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would
Indeed.
definitely recommend don't stop. Even if you hit a roadblock, keep going.
Mm. What are some of the challenges that you've actually encountered in the process of building this amazing project?
I guess the newness of it is a little bit different because it's not really a very popular. I guess turning buses is not everyone's doing it. So I guess I'm kind of a trailblazer in a way. I am younger than a lot of big companies do it. There's some in Tennessee and um but I guess just starting small and I don't know. I guess just doing a niche market makes everything a little bit more challenging for sure. But
Absolutely.
yeah, in terms of struggling, I guess insurance was my hardest one, getting the buses insured and working with because
Mm,
I knew nothing about motors or I don't know. I've never touched like a vehicle like that in my life. So I guess the whole
yeah,
newness of it was a big challenge for me as well.
absolutely. I mean, when it comes to the legal parts of it, do you want to share some information with us? So, in terms of the legal, the sort of the insurance that you need to have,
Hmm.
and whether you can actually you know find a space where you can pack the buses and
Mm.
all those kind of things. What does all that entail, really?
Okay, so I guess the biggest question I get when people buy it is, can I drive a bus? Because usually you need a CDL license. You need a
Right.
special license. But once the seats are taken out, it's kind of fair game.
Hmm.
The insurance agent, it's hard to get insured, honestly. That's the biggest problem I see. But
Right.
State Farm has been a huge gift to us. They insure it. All you have to do is provide like pictures throughout the build and show like the electricity, the plumbing, and but usually the people once they get it, they take it home, they make edits to it, and then they get insured through their own company. But I get them insured to go home just for the ride home.
Okay, just for the ride home, and then they now
Hmm.
carry on to go and get it insured. So, what
Hmm.
is the CD? Is it CDL?
CDL, yep, that's the license
CDL.
that
Tell us
bus
what that
drivers.
is.
It's just a special bus license that you get if you're a bus driver as like your job.
Right. Okay. So
But
everyone is
people are
required
concerned
to
about
have
it.
it. Hmm.
People, yeah, if you're driving a bus for a job, then you do. But if the bus seats are out when something like this, you don't have to have it.
Okay.
But
Right.
driving a bus is not the average vehicle, so I guess it's a little bit more challenging.
Hmm. What about the insurance as well?
What about it?
Yeah, what about the insurance in terms of acquiring insurance? Is that a long process, the whole process of it?
It's a little bit more difficult. I personally have not done it because I'm just buying the bus and flipping them.
Yeah,
I just get them taken care of just like for the ride home, and then they're responsible from there on out. But I've heard it's not that bad if you get a good person at the DMV or the insurance agency.
right. Okay,
Hmm.
fantastic. So, in terms of other projects that you have, are there anything lined up for the
Oh,
future?
I'm happy you asked. Yes, so now I just got a massive 40-foot bus, which will be transforming next week. But we're
Wow.
hiring local graffiti artists to come
Oh,
in
that's
and
amazing.
to like, so their work, usually graffiti artists get, in trouble for vandalizing, but I want to give them a space where they can express themselves and it will also benefit me and the bus will be aesthetically pleasing. But we are starting a line of buses called quarantine machines,
Hmm.
and we're going to do a line of barbershops, home offices, floral studios, art
Wow.
studios, and my favorite one is going to be movie theaters. We're going to do some movie theater buses with the windows blacked out and projectors on the back wall so people can either, well, so I've been nannying for the last couple months, and I
Hmm.
realized how moms can go crazy during quarantine because no matter how big your house is, your kids are too close to you. And
Absolutely.
so I want to create playrooms and movie rooms so the parents can park it in their driveway and just say like go play in the bus.
Hmm.
And I would hope to give like a parents a little break by also giving the kids like a crazy playroom that's not really average.
Absolutely. I love these ideas actually, and I
Hmm.
think the
Thank
future
you.
is really bright for you, to be quite honest, Megan. All these
Thank you.
amazing ideas, and I really do look forward to seeing them because it's just going to be just amazing.
Thank you.
This is a great initiative. I absolutely love it, and lots of people are actually watching, and they also love it as well. And they want to say, "Well done, Megan,
Oh, thank
for
you.
being able to kind of follow through with your passion and your
Hmm.
vision." And it's really amazing and very inspiring. You've actually inspired many people today, and it's so amazing to just connect with you and share your story on this
Thank you.
platform. So, what are your future aspirations and goals?
Oh, so I would like to be doing more buses at a time for
Yeah.
sure. I Instead of one every 3 months, I'd like to be doing six a month. Um, so I guess that's my short-term goal because I'd like to have that done by January. But I
Mm,
guess long term, I would like to buy a bunch of buses, convert them, put them on a piece of property, and rent them out as an Airbnb and
right.
start a chain of those. So I guess that's my long-term goal, but that's probably years to come, but I'm gonna aim for it for sure.
Fantastic. That sounds so good to hear. Who is your role
Hmm.
model, Megan? Who do you aspire to be like? Who
Oh my
inspires
God,
Megan?
my mom. My mom's my best friend. I'll say it 1,000 times, but she is just remarkable, honestly. I've never seen a more powerful, strong woman, and to be her child is actually an honor. And I tell her that every single day. I'm like, you are
Mm,
the best gift I could have ever asked for. And she is just, I wouldn't want anyone else by my side throughout this. She's fantastic.
amazing. That really
Hmm.
basically just brought some tears to my eyes. It's really amazing when we
Hmm.
show so much love to our parents because,
Hmm.
they are the first caregiver, and
Yeah.
their support is just so commendable. And I'm
Hmm.
sure mom is very proud of you. And
Yeah.
just to know that you're working together in partnership with her, and that's
Hmm.
just amazing. There's nothing more better than to have a family business together,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
especially one that really works well. Um,
Exactly.
the- so what is next for Megan really? When you look at the future, where do you want to be?
I'm not that I'm content, but I love where I'm at right now. I
Yeah.
love the newness and I love learning as I go. I know one
Hmm.
day I hope to be a pro, but right now I like being an amateur and I like learning as I go.
Hmm.
I think this part is really important because one day I'll look back and be like, remember when I did it like this, or remember when I didn't know that. And I think that it's cool to be aware of the stage I'm in right now.
Hmm.
But down the line, I would like to, I don't know, I think I really want to hire people that I can change their life and give them a purpose and have um, a full-time crew that's like basically a family that we all work together. And I think it's like it gives so many people a purpose. And it's like when they go and go home and they're like, "What'd you do today?" And they're like, "I worked on a school bus." Like that's not normal, you know? And I'm happy to
Absolutely.
provide that opportunity for so many people. And like for instance, people who have kids who work with me, they'll go home and their kids are like obsessed with the school buses. So they'll bring them by and it's like, "Oh my God, Dad, you did this?" Like it's just really cool to watch how it's impacting people besides myself. And it's just a school bus, you know? It's just a piece of metal that people forget about. And we're making them
Absolutely.
to beautiful pieces of art that travel. So
Mm.
I absolutely love it.
Indeed. Now, Megan, you know what? I could listen to you all day because the passion is there and
Thank
the
you.
authenticity is actually there. And this is like
Hmm.
real life,
Real.
story. And you're really inspiring me and, many people who are actually tuning in right now. What advice would you give anyone who is actually thinking about doing something similar to what you're doing in terms of upcycling, different items, I guess, and they really, love what you've actually talked about today, and they want to make a start, but there is a little bit of stumbling block or a barrier that's actually holding them back, self-doubt, self-limiting
Hmm.
belief. What advice would you
Hmm.
actually give that person?
If you want to upcycle something, you can only make it prettier. You literally can't
Yeah,
make anything uglier. Even if you added like a coat of paint, it's gonna look better. And I think
yeah,
as you go, you can learn and the doubt will go away. Like every day I work on something, I'm like, oh wow, like it didn't look like this yesterday. And I
yeah.
think that if you're worried about not trusting yourself, the only like way you can learn is to try. Just try once. And if you do semi well, try again and it will get easier, better, more impressive, and there's no telling what you can end up doing.
Fantastic. Someone said, what advice? Let me just put this question up. So it says, what advice will Megan give to a young person who wants to be an entrepreneur but doesn't have any connections? So I think
Mhm.
connections is actually key. It makes the transition quite easier. So, that saying when they say your network is your net worth. So sometimes when you know
Mm.
people, they're able to support you and direct you through the right path. So what would you say to this question?
Yes. So I honestly don't think you have to have a single connection. I think you have to have a
Really?
good No,
Hmm.
I really don't, because I moved to North Carolina
Yeah.
from the Boston area, and I knew no one. And I mean, I didn't know anyone with a bus, I didn't know anyone handy, and I guess what got me there is being personable. If I can give any advice, it's be personable, ask people how their days are going, and like genuinely listen, and you'll build connections just like that. I go to hardware stores and I'll strike up conversation with the checkout lady and be like, "Do you have anyone who's looking for a job, or do you know anyone who's handy, or anyone who wants to be handy and can watch YouTube?"
Mm,
Um, Literally just asking and talking, you can strike up. People are way more personable than you think, and
absolutely.
talked. I talk to everyone I can. Anyone with ears, I will definitely try to talk to. But it's gotten me a full team of people who genuinely want to work with me and do well. So, yeah, you don't need a connection, I don't think. I think you
Right.
just, if you have yourself and you have a voice, you can definitely take it anywhere you want and you can make connections.
Fantastic. Awesome. I love your
Hmm.
take on that. You just do it and go for it, and then the connections will come.
Connections come. Hmm.
Absolutely, indeed. It's just been amazing talking to you, Megan. I mean,
Thank you.
every good thing must come to an end.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I just wanna hear, your last thoughts of
Hmm.
inspiration to those who have been watching today and who have been inspired by your story. Any lasting words or comments to just give an encouragement to someone today watching you today?
Hmm. Okay. 3 years ago, I didn't think I could do it, but here I
Mm,
am now. You actually can, and there's no people are so powerful, but they don't trust themselves enough. So if you just go out on a branch and try it, and if you like, the worst that can happen is it doesn't work, and you didn't have it the week before, so I guess you didn't really lose anything. But if you can just
absolutely.
try once and don't be afraid of failing, because it happens, but once you fail, the succeeding is that much better at the end. But
Mm,
definitely have a little faith in yourself, everybody,
yeah.
because it's awesome and it works. So definitely try it.
Absolutely. And also being grounded and having great people around you, your family, your friends, a support network
Mhm.
also helps in terms of
Support.
helping you. To, tell us about the
Exactly.
support, because sometimes some people don't really have that support actually.
Yeah. I'm actually very fortunate. My friends begged me to help. They were like, "Can we come paint? Can we come take out the seats? Can I do your logo? Can I do your LLC?" And I
Mm,
honestly, you have to let them. You have if people want to be a part of it, it makes it
yeah,
that much more important and exciting when you do well, because then you have a lot more people to celebrate with. Like, if I did this on my own, what am I going to like do? Pat myself on the back? But if I
yeah.
let my friends be a part of it and people who are supporting me, um it's way more exciting. And I also, when something does go well, I make
Mhm.
sure to share. Like, it's okay to brag about yourself. Like, I brag, it's a humble brag, but it's like you should be proud and you should share because you did something.
Yes,
And if you,
indeed.
it's important to put that out there, because people genuinely, if they care about you, they want to hear about how well you're doing, and vice versa. You should definitely ask other people, but support is crucial when it comes to this, for sure.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you indeed. Someone just said, when you're in business, how important is your mental well-being?
Yeah, okay. I really appreciate this question because no one ever talks about mental health. But
Yeah.
um, I've I've definitely found myself just being down. I've never stayed down, because the buses, your business can actually, oh my God, if my mental health would not be where it's at today after everything I've gone through, if it wasn't
Mm,
for this little business, like this little idea, actually, if you're struggling with something mentally, just have a little faith in yourself, if anything, and try to start something, because watching something grow is like the best medicine, in my opinion.
mm.
I get up every day and I'm like, "Oh my God, like I'm so proud of myself. I can't believe I did this." I'm like, "I can't wait to do it again. Can't wait to do more." And but mental well-being is definitely a huge asset in this. You have to like
Absolutely.
feel well to do well, but if you don't feel well, use your like business or your idea to fuel you a little bit.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Thank you so much, Megan. It's just a
Mhm.
pleasure having you. You are a breath of fresh air.
Thank
And
you.
I want to commend you on this amazing initiative. And I want to wish you the very best for the future,
Thank
because
you.
the future looks really, really bright for you. And I will be following you through. You've gained a new friend.
A new bus,
Definitely.
yeah.
And how has it been coming on to the Birth Your Vision podcast? How have you found the process?
Yeah, okay, so I was actually very nervous because whenever I talk, I like develop a stutter and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna get a stutter on here." But I knew it would be good to show my face and talk about it and to get people like going on with their little dream. I hope someone after this watches this and they're like, you know what, maybe I'll just do a little vision drawing or a mood board. And that's honestly
Hmm.
where it starts. But the whole process, obviously, with you, you're very well, do a good job of communicating. And I felt like this is a very friendly process and I really appreciate your hospitality.
Oh, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure
Mhm.
because, sometimes I do lots of interviews globally and internationally, and sometimes because of the time difference. But it's really nice to just hear the reviews and the feedbacks from my
Oh,
amazing guest. And it's just been amazing communicating with you all the way from North Carolina. And it's a real pleasure to have you here on this show. I'm so,
thank
so
you.
amazed by all the things that you've actually achieved. And
Thank you.
yes, so to all our amazing viewers, thank you so much for jumping on and for coming on tonight. It's a real pleasure to have you here. The beautiful Megan, she's actually shared so many great tips and ideas. And also, she's told us about her journey, how she started. And what she said was to actually be inspired by yourself. You don't really need connection. Start and just go ahead and do what you need to do and just birth that vision. And that's what
Hmm.
she's done. 3 years ago, she didn't realize that she was going to be in this position. She's now, turning this into a business, and she has so much future aspirations, and she's actually shared it tonight. And I'm super proud of her. So thank you to all our amazing viewers. Thank you so much for supporting us. I am so, so, so glad that you're here. And I just want to use this opportunity to say thank you to our sponsor, who is actually going to be providing a 4 weeks coaching program to one of our viewers. I'm going to be sharing the link in the comment bar section. This is one of the Christmas edition freebies that we're going to be offering for the 3rd season of Birth Your Vision podcast live. So I'll be sharing some of those amazing goodies a little bit later. And also, I would like to invite all our amazing viewers and guests to join us on the 18th of December for the end of year gratitude party that will be online. We're going to be celebrating and just being thankful for this amazing, should I say amazing, a year of roller coaster and challenges. But you know what?
Mhm.
With all that's happened, we just have to keep having a heart of gratitude and be hopeful to reset our mind and have a positive mindset for 2021. So join me. I'll also be sharing the link on the comment section below. So until next time, I'm going to be back again next week with another amazing guest on the Birth Your Vision podcast live. I'm your host. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. To my beautiful guest, thank you so much, Megan. It's a real pleasure to have
Thank
you
you.
here. And I will definitely be in touch. Thank you so much, everybody. Stay blessed and have a great evening. Bye for now.